Can Joe Burrow bounce back from a rough year? We got a lot to dive into here, but I want to start off with one thing. The beginning of the year was shaky for him, but by the end of it, before he left due to injury, it wasn't half bad. Threw for 2,300 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions in 10 games. And again, that's with a few really rough games. There's one thing that's the most important thing to note in this entire thing that we're going to talk about. Some way, somehow, the Bengals preseason strength of schedule for the entire year ended up at 16th, which I know you think, okay, 16, run of the mill, middle of the pack, whatever. That says a whole lot for the division they're coming out of. The other 3 teams in the Bengals division each are the 3 hardest schedules out of the entire NFL. The Browns have the hardest schedule, the Ravens have the 2nd hardest schedule, and the Steelers have the 3rd hardest schedule. The Bengals to have found a way to have the 16th easiest schedule is something to note as this division plays out over the course of the year. We're going to run through their schedule real quick before we go into some of the film from Joe Burrow last year, things that'll keep us hopeful that he comes back to his true form. And look, man, I'm looking at this schedule and I think that they're going to win a lot of games. I don't think we're going to have the same story they had last year. Now let's jump right into this schedule. Week 1, they have the Patriots. I think they win that game. Week 2, they play at Kansas City. I think they drop that game. That puts them at 1-1. Then they have the Commanders and the Panthers. I think they win both of those. The Commanders kind of sneaky this year, but we're going to put the Bengals at 3-1 after week 4. Then they have the Ravens, 3-2. Sounds like a Bengals season starting out 3-2. Then they have the Giants. Let's go 4-2. Then they have Cleveland at Cleveland. I'm going to go 4-3. Then they have the Eagles. I think they can beat the Eagles at home. It's going to be a good ass game, and I'm going to give them that game 5-3. Then they have the Raiders. I think they beat them. We're going to go 6-3. Then we have at Baltimore. We're going to drop that 6-4. Then they have the Chargers. Let's get back to it, 7-4. Then they have the Steelers after a bye week. That would be 8-4. And then in Dallas, I think they upset Dallas, 9-4. Then they have the Titans, would put them at 10-4. Then they have the Cleveland Browns at home. They probably win that 1-1, 11-4. Then they have the Denver Broncos. 12-4. I like it. I think so. And then they have Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh. I think they win that, but maybe they don't need it. Maybe they do. I'm going to say 13-4. And then through all of this, 13-4 feels a little bit aggressive. So we're going to wind that back and we're going to say 12-5. Assuming everything goes as planned. We're going to add some standard deviation, pulling back to 12-5. If the Bengals go 12-5, Joe Burrow is going to have a hell of a year. They need Joe Burrow to have a hell of a year to go 12-5. Both are interchangeable. Let's go look at some of the things he did last year once he started hitting his stride after he got over that calf injury and really see what version of Joe Burrow we're going to get coming into this season that I expect to hit the ground running. Should be a fun year. Let's get to the tape. All right, let's get right to this. So like we were talking about, Joe Burrow, what is he good at? Well, he's good at slinging the rock. He's good at buying just enough time. He's kind of a sneaky scrambler, but he's not going to like break off a 60-yard run on you. But in the red zone, man, he's really good at buying time and he's going to keep his eyes downfield. So let's watch this. They're 1-3 at this point. Joe Burrow just started this game 6 for 6, I believe at this point, maybe 5 for 5. And he's going to do this on 3rd and goal. Got to have it. Drop back. First read's not there. Bottled up. Got an extra player in the zone. For some reason, they're only rushing 3. Don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's trying to contain. Kinda. It's okay. I love this though. Get a little pressure. You know that Bengals O-line is going to let you have some pressure now. Buys enough time. Sees back end line, got his receiver breaking away from eyes. Man, I love this. Keeps his eyes downfield, delivers a dot. Perfect timing. Like these are the plays that, again, to Jamar Chase, that I love seeing out of Joe Burrow. And these are what get me excited to watch him play. He does shit like this all the time. And it's not just your standard drop back quarterback play like Tom Brady does. He's moving a little bit. And I love seeing that. And then the other thing that I love about this Joe Burrow guy is that he can sling it downfield. I really like what the Bengals are doing here. They know that their O-line is a little sus. So they're going to do a full slide with a sweep. Kind of, I think he's coming off the backside. Little half roll. By time, we got a little too high shell they're getting to. But look, he's here. This is more quarters on this side. This is halves over here. Little cover 6-ish. But watch this. When this quarter safety opens this way, I guess that's bad quarters. Either that's cover 2, quarters, maybe playing some palms over here. Palms is when 4 turns to 2. Regardless, this safety is way over the top. We see action here, and so does Joe. And I love that they're full sliding here to buy a little bit more time, because if he's dropping straight back, these DNs are just going to pin their ears back and get to him. The slide with the line pushes those guys over. No football talk. Joe drops back and rips a fucking dime. All the way downfield, throws it pretty much as far as he can from the 30-yard line. Ball lands perfectly in stride right here. That's money. And Jamar Chase is that guy when he gets loose. I think he could be the best receiver in the NFL. Justin Jefferson, he's alive, but Jamar Chase is pretty damn good too. Watch from this view, little football 101. You can't block well, get guys moving sideways, and then pull back. Really good play design, split flow, and just heave it. Throw it as far as you can. This view's money, man. Not gonna lie though, this catch, not a lot of guys would make that catch over the outside shoulder when you're running full speed this way in stride like that. Jamar Chase is him. But they can do that. And that's why I'm excited about watching Joe Burrow play football this year. And look, I don't want this to turn into the Cardinals Hoops mixtape, but this is the first week of the season that we felt like, okay, Joe Burrow might be back. And it's because he was doing stuff like this, in rhythm, in the timing of the play, wasn't there, knows that he's going to have some time up front. There's a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people blocking with a lot of people in coverage. That means he's going to have to get creative, and he knows that when he drops back. This is a terrible concept for a lot of people playing defense. But he's going to go move around a little bit, buy some time, go here, then here, set up, and look at him. He finds his freaking guy. And he's going to deliver a flat-footed dime across the field, perfect in stride, over somebody's face. This is what Joe Burrow can do, and he's not going to miss if he gets these opportunities. Like, this is awesome. I love how accurate he is. I love it. And I'd imagine we're going to see a lot more of this year, especially with his calf being back right to start the season. You didn't get to see this version of Joe Burrow to start the year, and it started them out 1-3 because of it. So I don't expect that to be the case this year. And did I mention that Joe Burrow got the Bengals to be kind of back? At this point, they're 3-3. Right now, I believe it's 7-7 in this game, and he's playing against what would be a Super Bowl defense. This is a problem. But Joe Burrow is also a problem. Now look, they have this max protection bullshit that they do all the time where there's only a couple people coming. There's a lot of people to play defense, and he knows that he has not good options. Hate this play call, but is what it is. What's he going to do? He knows that he has to buy time. Just like every time there's a bad play, or most of the time, he knows when it's time to ditch and go be him. And this is what I love. Perfect timing on the sideline, Tony toe tap. He knows that he's starting to feel himself, and this is an away game in a hostile environment. Joe Burrow has the ice in his veins, and he's going to find a way to deliver. There's also a theme. Joe Burrow in the low red zone, he's so accurate, and he can buy just enough time that he's going to make you pay if you give him just an inch. And just like we said, if you give him an inch, he's going to make you pay. Right here, you got a fake bubble, got the pump release, perfect over the shoulder. If you give him 6 yards of separation, he's definitely going to make you pay. He's not going to miss. You can't let that happen. This might be my favorite throw actually that he made all year though. This one is really exciting to watch. I'm going to tell you why. So here we are. He gets him to show, shows his hands, gets him to move the shell a little bit. They're going to end up getting to a cover 2, but we got a tight split down here. Again, this is what it's going to look like. Here, kind of here, and then this is a cover 2 corner. What Joe sees though is like, okay, I have a route concept that's going to have a clear and then a double out. Now, this is really what you're looking for here, but you know you have a cover 2 corner, so you're going to see, does he trail out or does he stay back? Does he pass him off? If he passes him off to this safety, where are this safety's feet in alignment with his trips? All of that he has to take into account pre-snap and post-snap. So it goes on his drop. Nice and easy. First hitch, he sees this corner start to settle his hips just a little bit. Like he's not sprinting back to go play. He also recognizes pre-snap that, man, this safety is just barely out of alignment. He should be right here. Like these are the subtle nuances of the game that matter that much. Not to mention the safety's feet. Where does he go with a vertical release, vertical release, vertical release? From right here, he goes straight back and slow. This immediately triggers something in Joe's head. Maybe they talked about it in the film room, maybe not, who knows. That, wait a minute, we have a viable option here up the sideline to this hole shot that typically is off limits versus this coverage. He's going to drop back, rip it decisively. Like, look at where this guy is and he is when Joe decides to let go of this ball. And I'm going to even move it forward. When he hitches right here and pats, this is when Joe is letting go of this ball. This is what makes Joe Burrow so special. He sees and anticipates a cover 2 corner that's not fully committed to running, even though his body is on top of this receiver, and a cover 2 safety that has not committed to flying over the top or this way. He's just kind of drizzled back. And he's going to rip this on a line from the 39-yard line and drop it in a bucket right in stride on the 5-yard line. That is a 34-yard throw, if my math is right, to his white lightning receiver, and they're gonna go get paid together. Like, this is the stuff that Joe does that you're like, damn, he caught us. This is very Tom Brady-esque. Like, Joe Burrow's comp to me in how he plays this game is so much like Tom Brady with a little bit more mobility. Pause. A lot more mobility. I'll give him that. And when he's on, man. And yes, he does need guys around him to make plays, but he can make plays anywhere if you give him just a little bit of room. If you are caught slipping, it's over. Watch it from this view. Like, there's no room for error. This one's good too. I mean, that's what makes Joe Burrow special. And then last but not least, we'll end with this one. We keep talking about it. His pinpoint accuracy, his mobility, his scramble to throw ability. And this is it right here. 4-man rush. Should have a little bit of time. Got decent time here, but what are they doing? They got everything pretty much strapped. Maybe he could go here with the ball. That's okay. He might fall off an attack, but Joe's going to go make a play. And I love this right here. Watch where Jamar Chase is and watch where he ends up. This is the other stuff that is not taken into account. The scramble drill is not just on the quarterbacks. There's a lot of quarterbacks that are good at buying time, but a lot of receivers in the league are not Jamar Chase and cannot fill the void and find the open space and the right timing of the scramble drill. Look at the urgency that he gets upfield with. And then look at the angle he resets here. Honestly, kind of lucky that he attacks, but this is also good decisiveness by this receiver. If he does not go decisively, Jamar Chase doesn't score a touchdown here. Sucks that he turned upfield, but it didn't matter because Joe was decisive and is going to let this one fly on the run, going to his left from the 32-yard line. And this is the stuff I'm talking about, man. If Jamar Chase has to move at all, if he does not catch this in stride, it is not a touchdown. If he has to slow up, might get a pass interference, might even be an interception. But Joe's able to put it on the line, keep his guy in stride. Jamar is so talented, and he's going to have a monster year this year. I don't know where Jamar Chase is slotted to go in fantasy football, but I guarantee you he's going to be a top 5 receiver, if not higher than that, if Joe Burrow stays healthy all year long. And look, man, there's a lot of ifs with this. Can he stay healthy? Can they all stay healthy? Are they going to be able to manage the brutal NFC North? I think they will. I'm a betting man, and I would not bet against Joe Burrow this year, and I for damn sure would not bet against Jamar Chase. See you guys in the next video. If you guys enjoyed this style of breakdown, like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, and let me know what you want to see next.